Hello, good morning. Welcome to Life Talk. Today is June 4th, 2019, and I am Renee Hobbs. And joining with me is
Yes, Sheila. Yes.
Yes, she can introduce herself here. Mark is out today. He's actually sick. If you guys can keep him in your prayers, we would appreciate it.
I told him he was getting sick. I could hear it in his throat, but of course,
Yeah.
he doesn't like going to the doctor, so he
Right.
didn't listen to me. No, I'll be fine. And sure enough, he can't
Yeah.
talk. So.
Yeah, he is here, but he's in the
Yeah.
other room,
Yeah.
letting us kind of take control here.
Yes.
But anyways, we have a few articles to get to today. Some things that people really aren't talking much about, and something that you've discovered with Clarence Thomas. In the Washington Post, there was an opinion piece that he had written for the Supreme Court decision about 2 abortions. And he argued that the door for abortion rights was opened by the eugenics movement. From the beginning, birth control and abortion were promoted as a means of effectuating eugenics. And you looked into the 7 historians that they talk about in the Washington Post.
Yes.
And so,
like you said, Justice Clarence Thomas wrote an opinion piece, a 20-page opinion piece, and the Washington Post came out with an article where they talked with 7 historians. They were saying that, he's wrong. Well, first of all, the author who wrote this opinion piece in the Washington Post is a young white guy. All these 7 historians that were contacted to comment, they're all white except for one person who is a young PhD Muslim student who calls herself a black feminist.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So obviously these people are completely biased.
Oh, definitely.
So they said that he was wrong. He was misusing historical facts. But we can't listen to what these people say. These people are professors
Right.
at liberal universities.
That's right.
One even got a award from the Rockefeller Foundation.
And who are they better known for?
Yeah.
I mean, eugenics all the way. And they supported Margaret Sanger from the beginning. And Margaret Sanger is a huge eugenicist. She started Planned Parenthood on the basis of eliminating Negroes, is what she called them.
Undesirables. And in the article, it says that historians say that Thomas's 20-page opinion distorts history in the service of ideology.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that are distorting history. And if they watched, I'm sure they've heard of it, Maafa 21, the documentary that we did, they would see that it's proven fact
Right.
that abortion and the eugenics movement are bedfellows.
Right.
Abortion was legalized along with birth control and
Right.
Planned Parenthood
Right.
to eliminate undesirables, and it's still happening today. People just need to go to Maafa21.com to see our documentary.
Yeah, I know, because it goes from the beginning of history and of all of this to today. It's evergreen. It's not going to go bad
Right.
or get old.
And I also want to mention one more thing. So the Muslim PhD student who calls herself a black feminist, she's done a paper stating that the black community possibly embraced the possibility of eugenics for racial improvement.
Yeah.
So I don't think the black community was sitting around, let's eliminate ourselves and let's embrace eugenics to improve our community.
Yeah, let's go ahead and kill our kind of people.
Right.
Although some of them have bought into all of this,
Yes.
which, I mean, look, we're talking about the Washington Post here. Give me a
Yes.
break.
Yes.
They're going to reach out to the most liberal, agenda-driven people.
Exactly.
The New York Times has tried their hardest to dehumanize the baby's heartbeat, and they're calling it embryonic pulsing, which is so incredibly ridiculous. They are trying so hard because of all of these states passing the heartbeat bill to rename what a baby's heartbeat is. I mean, there is studies stating that the heartbeat actually starts at 21 days.
Yes.
And we detected through ultrasound at least 6 weeks here.
I mean, mothers go in and fathers go in, and they can hear the heartbeat on ultrasound.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not coming from the mother here.
Right.
I mean, it's their baby's own heartbeat here. And although it's not completely formed yet because they still have 9 months in the womb, but they do have a heartbeat. And that is the very first organ that starts
Right.
in the development of the baby.
Well, I mean, they've always done this where they try to make the unborn seem as unhuman as possible.
Right.
They always use the words fetus or cells,
Yeah.
anything to try to make people see the unborn as not human.
Right. They try to justify killing these babies. They want to try to make themselves feel better for doing such a heinous crime here.
Yeah. I want to know is who came up with the term embryonic pulsing. I mean, that's such a stupid term.
Yeah, it is a really dumb term.
Embryonic pulsing.
I can't imagine. And to mention Illinois' abortion law, on this past Friday, the Senate passed Senate Bill 25. It is even a more extreme bill than the New York bill that passed a few months ago.
Right.
And this one isn't, for some reason, getting as much attention as the New York. Even though these people there applauded it and they all went nuts over it, I want to read some of the things that are going on in this bill. It strips all rights from the unborn, changes the definition of viability, and legalizes abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy up from the moment of birth for any reason. They're wanting to allow nurses to do this completely. The bill eliminates the Abortion Performance Refusal Act, so the medical professionals will be forced to recommend, perform, and assist in procedures. The legislation also compels insurance plans to provide coverage for all abortion care, and all licensing requirements for abortion facilities would be removed. SB 25 repeals the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act and removes any penalty from performing late-term abortions, allows nurses, what I was saying earlier, to perform medication abortions, and eliminates licensing from health and safety inspections, which is...
Yeah.
Anyways...
I mean, the insurance thing, we've come across cases about this before where, especially with religious organizations and nonprofits and stuff saying that, hey, your insurance has to cover abortion.
Yes.
Well, the left and abortion advocates are always talking about, have the government stay out of my uterus. Well, why not have the government stay out of forcing companies to pay for abortions for people that don't want to provide them.
Right. I mean, there was that Hobby Lobby thing that went through. The Little Sisters, they are back into court now because of this. I mean, it's just... they're going to do anything that they can to kill these babies, and that's their main goal, and that's the bottom line.
I mean, there have been a lot of pro-life bills that have passed, which is great, but people need to remember that the fight isn't over. As we pass bills, they're going to pass bills as well. So the battle isn't over until the Supreme Court says, hey, abortion is wrong. Unborn have a right to life. They're human beings. And even after that, people are going to be pushing for abortion pills, illegal abortions. So
I mean, it can only get worse for these liberal states, and I'm sure like New York or California, they're looking at Illinois saying, wow, gosh, we can add this to our bill too. We can do something along these lines similar to this, and they get brownie points from all of the pro-abortion people out there, and
And also the big thing I think in that is that nurses can perform abortion procedures.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always talking about, we need abortion to be safe and legal.
Right.
Well, number one, it's not safe to begin with. And then if you're having nurses who are not qualified to perform medical procedures doing it, how is that safe?
I know it's not, and then for them not to go in to regulate, to look at the safety standards going on there, the inspections. I mean, they do. They want to have safe abortions, but if if they don't allow people to come in to make sure what they're doing is safe, then but we need to end all of this anyway. So.
It just shows that they don't care about winning, that all they care about is abortion, because abortion is how they make their money.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to take a time out for robots, and we'll be back after that.
In 1973, the U.S. Supreme Court legalized abortion nationwide. The decision is called Roe versus Wade, and those who defend it are known as robots. This is how they think.
If you people make abortion illegal, who is going to take responsibility for all the social problems created by unwanted children?
One of the abortion lobby's standard sales pitches has always been that abortion can be used to solve social problems. Today, they've had over 45 years to prove their point, and they've not been stingy in handing out the death sentences. So far, they've executed over 60 million babies, and they continue to kill them at the rate of almost 3,000 a day. And yet, every social problem America faced when the abortion lobby carried out its first execution has gotten considerably worse. Our country has suffered increases in homelessness, hunger, welfare, divorce, poverty, child abuse, spousal abuse, deadbeat dads, gangs, drug addiction, suicide, sexually transmitted diseases, high school dropout rates, and the list goes on and on. So what went wrong? Why has every social problem that the abortion lobby promised to cure with abortion actually gotten worse since abortion became legal? Obviously, if the pro-choice mob has not been lying all these years, then the only plausible explanation is that they either slaughtered the wrong 60 million babies or 60 million is not enough. In either case, it's time for them to tell us which babies and how many babies need to be butchered before their plan starts to work. Or maybe we need to accept the fact that using abortion to solve social problems is nothing more than a self-serving invention of the people who financially profit from the killings. And there is your answer. But also, I would ask this question. Let's say for a moment that our social problems had been helped by killing babies. Would that justify those killings? I mean, do we really want to be the kind of people that uses child sacrifice as a tool of social engineering? And if our attitude is going to be that the wholesale slaughter of innocent and defenseless people is justified if it solves our social problems, why kill the unborn? After all, they are the one category of human beings who had nothing to do with creating these problems and whose death we now know will not solve them.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you guys enjoy robots. It's such a good avenue for argument's sake. And we have a book, it's called Pro-Life Answers, where some of these come out of as well. So if anybody's out there in the field and they need help, with a pro-abortion argument or a pro-life argument, I should say, I would recommend getting that book.
And also to see past editions of robots, we separate it from Life Talk as well. People can always go on our YouTube page, the Life Talk TV YouTube page, to see past robots.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So a couple of more things before we end. The theme of the show is denying the face of truth, which is what a lot of abortion advocates obviously do. I mean, a lot of them know deep down that the unborn are living human beings.
Right.
We ran across on Twitter this woman from Ireland who came across abortion protesters on the sidewalk. They were holding up graphic aborted baby pictures, and she took video of herself yelling at them and screaming at them. She was obviously triggered and upset by it, and she wrote on Twitter how this was inappropriate, this shouldn't be allowed. what they were doing was wrong. And she obviously had an abortion
Right.
and hadn't healed from it,
Right.
which is, you come across that a lot.
Right. Yeah. The majority of the people that lash out like that, they don't want to face reality and what they've done, because it brings them to their knees to understand that this was actually a living human being that has 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, ears, fingers. You see it all. Even at 12 weeks of gestation, you see everything that's going on.
And some people on Twitter who are obviously abortion advocates came to her defense.
Sure they
and
did.
one person said, "There's no justification, and no excuse. If their argument was so strong, they wouldn't need shock images." And I went on, Life Dynamics went on to reply to that person saying that it's not about being shock images, it's about being the truth. What makes them shocking in the first place? If abortion is okay, then what is wrong with showing these images?
Yeah, what's actually taking place and going on. Even though that they say that these images are Photoshopped, they're not real, they're fake. I dare you to go inside of the abortion clinic, work in the lab, and put the little pieces together and tell us it's fake.
I mean, they so strongly try to convince people that unborn babies are just clumps of cells, tissues, parasites.
Right.
But when you see aborted baby pictures, you see the true reality of abortion.
Yeah.
And I know that it's controversial even among pro-life people, but it does get people to talk. And one great tool that we have is a action card, a graphic action card that shows an aborted baby.
I believe
it's
at
called,
10 weeks.
Yeah. It's called approximately 10 weeks, so the first trimester. People order these and they place them places that they think will have an impact, because it's hard to face the reality, but you can't just ignore it.
No, you can't.
And like abortion advocates.
Right. And if you're truly regretful of the abortion that you had had and you see something like this, I mean, repent from it. And, this is the true reality of what's happened.
It's better for women who have had abortions to face the facts, say, yes, I did kill my child. I paid someone to kill my child, and then to heal from it instead of just holding up that anger, which a lot of them do.
Right. And it leads to other children that they have in the future, or even children that they had previous to that, where they don't have that emotional attachment to those children because of the abortion that they had and that missing child.
Yeah, I mean, we say all the time that abortion destroys motherly instinct. And it has. Any country that has legalized abortion,
Right.
motherly instinct is gone. Animals have better motherly instinct than people now.
Oh, gosh, yes, they do.
Yeah.
We've had stories upon stories about that well, and anyways.
And then one last thing, a lot with these abortion bans going on, a lot of abortion advocates, Planned Parenthood, politicians are saying that if Roe is overturned, then women will return to back alley abortions. Women will be slaughtered. It'll be unsafe again. We can't return back to those days. Well, first off, abortion might be safe, but it isn't legal. We have a project called Safe and Legal that shows women and that have been not only hurt but killed by abortion.
Yes.
So people can go to the website safeandlegal.com to see that. And of course, when you mention that to abortion advocate, they say, "Oh, well, pregnancy is unsafe," or where did you get those stats and stuff?
They try to debunk us because pregnancy is even more dangerous than having an abortion.
Yeah. Which again, that's them not facing the truth.
Yeah. And I love what Mark says too. We aren't the ones that are killing these women or these babies. It's the pro-choice people that are doing it. It's not the pro-lifers.
Exactly. And a great analogy, I think, is like homicide, murder. Yes, people are murder is illegal, people still murder. But does that mean it should be legal?
Absolutely
No.
not.
No,
Yeah.
and it's the same with
Right.
killing unborn babies.
Right.
And also, not only are women injured and killed, but they're also raped. There are abortionists who have been prosecuted and proven to have raped clients that are still working in abortion clinics.
Yeah, there's 4 of them still out there working.
Yeah.
And they have been they know that they've done these, and other people do too. It's do your research, people.
Right.
Before you go to, I mean, if you're going to go and kill your baby, do some research to see how many people or that he's killed or things that have gone on in that clinic.
Right. So people can check out our rape project that we released. And so not only so women are not only in jeopardy with their lives, but also, getting raped and stuff. And how is that safe for women?
not.
If they truly cared about women, they would be up in arms about this. But instead, it's abortion, and they're just collateral damage.
Yeah. One of our previous shows, we have an interview with a lady that was raped, Janet Ledoux, and she has her testimony is on the video, so it's a good thing to go and watch.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoyed the show. We're sorry that Mark's not feeling well. He'll be back next week, though.
I'm going to try to get him to go to the doctor. He won't listen to me, but
Good luck, right? Until next time, we will see you next week, hopefully with Mark. And I'm not exactly sure what the saying is. I've heard it 1,000 times here.
we're not here just to put up a good fight.
We're here to win, because winning is when the killing's going to stop. We'll see you next week.